Hey, everybody, it's your host, Dr. Dana Martin. Welcome to the Sith Dominion. We have a question that needs to be fulfilled that was asked right as we were starting. And Debbie only needs a yes or a no.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. I was like, you've got to be kidding
Once in
me.
a blue moon. It's not very often. My preferred drink is rum and Coke.
Ah, yes.
Ooh,
Nothing wrong.
that's a good
Spiced
one.
or regular rum?
I don't care.
It's like, oh,
I
wow.
can drink it all night long and not be affected. So,
Nice.
Hi,
We're
Andrew.
already? What? No way. What's up,
Somebody's
Andrew?
got the notification bells on.
Yeah, somebody has their notification bells on.
Appreciate you.
So,
Ding.
yes, thank you. When you click that bell, ring the bell. That's all you got to do. Click the bell. You'll know every time. But subscribe also. Thank you. Man, what a crazy week. I had a crazy week. I know, Zane, you were really busy. We'll start with you. You had a couple gigs, yeah?
Yeah. I played at
okay, Debbie.
I played at Riverfest, right? We didn't headline, but we were one of the people that played before Tyga, right? That was really
Tyga,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And then that day after, on Friday, I think I played at the Oak Hill Social. It's a little west of Austin. I'm playing there again, same time, same day this week. So y'all come on by. And then Saturday, I think I played at a crawfish bowl up in Austin.
Nice.
It was good.
Did you get to eat the crawfish?
Yes, I got to eat a lot of crawfish.
Yes. Now, do you suck the head or no? Yes, of course. Yes.
Of course.
That's where all the good flavor and seasoning ends up. You got to
Mhm.
yank that out of there. Yeah. Don't mind the grit. All right. Cam, you even look disgusted there. You're not a crawfish guy?
No, I eat crawfish. I just
Okay.
didn't realize people were able to get access to any right now.
Oh, yeah. Just now. It's
I get to
good.
pay for it, so.
HEB there at Villa Maria was doing like $5.95 a pound cooked right there. Boom. Just scoop it up. And
Really?
yeah, potatoes, corn,
Really?
like, yeah, just a pound. So, it's like $10 for potatoes, corn, and some crawfish. But yeah, it's good. Really good.
That's actually a good
Yeah.
price. I might have to go hit that up.
Yeah. All right. Debbie, how was your week?
I just binged Fallout.
Really?
Was it good?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
Are
a
y'all-
gamer. I didn't know nothing going into it. My kids they played it and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's good." So I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I didn't play The Last of Us, and I really loved that. So
Oh, yeah, that was good.
yeah. So it was really good. I enjoyed it, and I binged it all.
Very cool. The what did y'all talk about last night? X-Men?
X-Men 97.
Yeah. How is that show going? I haven't watched that yet.
It's okay. I mean, I never watched the original, so it's kind of a learning curve for me.
Mm.
But yeah, we had probably the last half of the show. For some reason, we got a very lively chat. So
Nice.
and a couple of subscriptions off of it. So it was good.
Yes, I like how we're talking about this. Like and subscribe and hit the bell. Okay, we'll say it 18 times. No one's watching right now. It's okay. I appreciate Andrew popping in though and saying hi. Cam, not little under the weather, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I just really haven't been feeling hot the last couple days.
Man.
We're out over here. I'm here for episode 9. That's what I'm here for.
And I'm gonna keep putting it off just to keep you stringing along. The well, I gotta say, okay. So I promised my wife I wouldn't, but I'm going to. She's in a movie. She's not watching right now. Just because you're not feeling so well, I was gonna give you a little grief about if you needed to get some sort of safety equipment, buzzers, anything for this new backpack that apparently mows people over when you spin around. Some backpack cam that you have that takes people out on its own.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm getting adjusted to my new job. Comes with more technology that I need to have, and My backpack almost took my wife out when we were at the park the other day, so I'm trying to get used to it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How else you been? A little under the weather. You think it's allergies? What you got? Something
Yeah, I
like
think it's just allergies, man.
Yeah.
Pollen's killing me.
that? Yeah, that cedar, man. My eyes are getting all puffy. My poor wife's like crying all the time, and I swear I'm nice all the time. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm due for about once or twice a year. I get a little under the weather, so but
Yeah.
it's only a 24-hour deal, so hopefully I'll be up and at 'em.
Cool. Yeah, I went. I had a pretty cool weekend. We ran over to a winery. We ran up to Dallas, and then on the way back, stopped at a winery or a vineyard. It was a winery. It was really cool. But I got a little, my little race car is a little low to the ground, and I kind of scraped a little on something, and heard something drag in. Didn't think much of it, and yeah, it turns out about a month and a half ago, I was at a drive-in theater at night and it had rained. I think I may have touched on it in the show. And so the puddles were even with the road. Like I couldn't tell how deep they were. And it just wham. And yeah, so it's peeled open underneath the skid plate and that fascia that attaches it. And I noticed on the way home, I got like 3 miles per gallon less because of this air. Now I stuck to the ground real well, but yeah. So I had to call my uncle. I'm like, look, dude, surely we can work something out. I can't afford to go get this replaced again after the armadillo already beat through it once. I'm here too, man. I'm getting up for this episode 9. In the TikTok earlier, I was talking about the content. We keep talking about how they say there's nothing to draw from and these sorts of things. And of course I brought up Thrawn, and you guys are totally doing Thrawn right now. Like, what do you mean? Yeah. So yeah, I want us to get into that here in a minute. There was a website I saw that I asked one of them to go check out because if it was a messed up site, I didn't want it on my computer. So I'm not the one getting the ransomware. Zane, do you have that pulled up? You want to share that?
I do, if it'll work.
It's called Hasbro Pulse, and if any of you out there have heard of this, please let us know. I had not heard of this.
Be able to.
There we go. So I mean,
So
these action figures are like Black Label better. I don't know. They're The Last Command. Yeah, look at
with
yes.
Luke, with
See, I saw
Luke.
that, and Luke. That's right.
Mara Jade. That's really cool.
Boris about whatever. Boris.
Boris.
My wife. No, not Borat. Sorry. Dude, that Droideka. Go back up. Yeah.
That's
pretty sick,
ooh,
man.
and you can see it from the box.
It kind of looks xenomorph like. Yeah. Dude, that's cool, man. I don't know how much validity there is to this. I asked one of them to buy something online, and I think Cam said he would take the bullet. Find something on sale for like $2. I'll reimburse you for $5, but I can't do anymore.
Grand Poobah, if I get scammed, man, I'm gonna have to hit you up.
That right there, man. HK and Revan. Oh my goodness. Didn't he call humans meat sacks? Like I loved it.
Man, look at all that content they had, man. Look at all that content.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, what's new in the world of? I don't think there's really anything big in the news, and if there is, then I've just been asleep to talk about. I did put out an article yesterday, or was that this morning? I think it was yesterday about what was that about? Anyone read that? It's a quiz. Yeah, y'all don't read my articles either. It's okay.
Yeah, the Acolyte, wasn't it?
Gosh, Debbie. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes, it's the Acolyte. Again, the Acolyte. But this time, 100% focus on what the dark side should be, right? Not this is what we know of the dark side, and it looks like they may do it this way. No. This is what it is. If you do this, we're golden. And that's essentially the article. Go check it out. And that's 3, and it's barely the 16th Grand Poobah. I'm done for the month. I'm tired. 3 and 15 days. Now I'm some of those other guys can crank those out, but not me. So yeah, I guess there really isn't a whole lot.
There's one thing.
Go.
It has to do with Outlaws.
Oh, are you talking about the DLC stuff?
Yeah,
Price
so,
gouging?
Fun fact, there are 3 different things you can buy. You can buy a regular version, which is $70, a like gold edition or something for $100 or $100. I think it's $100, but I think it might be $110. And then you can buy the like gold deluxe for $130 something, right? And everyone was complaining because with those 2, you get the Battle Pass subscription, whatever is there, and it has a specific special mission to do with Jabba, right?
Yeah.
And they came out and said that the Hutt Cartel is very big in the universe. It was just a specific mission that you wouldn't get access to. That's
Are
all
we as
that's all they said.
are we done with this model now? I mean,
No, this
Look
is
at,
here to stay.
look at
man.
Baldur's Gate.
This is here to
I-
stay.
Baldur's-
I still never played it. I don't know. What's the deal?
Baldur's Gate did amazing. They released a full game when it came out.
There's no extra content. Maybe an expansion later, like WoW or something like that. But like
maybe, but
nothing-
they released a full game for the price you bought it for. There wasn't anything, and they ended up winning all of these awards. And then you got people like whoever's doing Outlaws.
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Yeah.
Ubisoft. I know EA has done it before.
Oh,
And you lock everything behind a paywall. Trust me, I
listen.
would know. I played
We're
Destiny.
already having to pay for gear to run these games, whether that's console or PC, right? And now I got to upgrade this if I want to play this game, and it's only been 2 years. I ain't even paid for the last upgrade, and then you're gonna come out with pack after you want this, you got to have this. I get it if you're gonna do those things for skins or whatever. Then it's my choice whether I want to look cool or not, right? I'm totally fine with that. Getting we were talking about Battle Pass. This for Overwatch started today for season 10, and it's I mean, if you want those cool skins, you're gonna have to pay for them. You can also earn in-game currency and buy them as well. So there's ways to get around that if you really want to. My issue is the content. Like, that's what upsets me is you're going to put, I buy this game for $50, $60, and I've completed. If I want to do any more with it, I'm going to have to buy it again and buy more again and buy more again. If it's a massive online, Sweator, WoW, I get that. The game is evolving. You're giving good chunks of content, not just, if you want to run this cool ass mission with all the characters you're going to pay an extra $20 for it. Are you kidding me? You guys trying to get me on a soapbox. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah, that game is not going to be released in a playable state day one, and they're like, pre-order and get early access. I'm like,
it's a 3-day access.
Yeah, like
You get it
I'm
3
gonna-
days earlier. That's it.
and it's gonna run like shit and look like shit. Sorry, I mean it's just the way it's a shame.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel about this, Cam.
No, it's gonna be. I was talking with Josiah about it last night. Like, I have played any Star Wars game they've put out recently, but I will not be buying that day one. I'll wait for patch number 10 in whatever 2 months after it comes out, and then I'll play it.
Look, I jumped right over. I started looking at it, and I was like, no, I think I'm gonna wait on that. I'm with you, man.
I'll wait.
And Debbie's like, I ain't buying it. I don't buy those games.
I don't play those games. I don't play games.
What is your? Do you play games on your phone? And if so, what do you play on your phone? Bejeweled or stuff like that? I play. No, I play freaking that stuff.
I used to back in the day, but I don't anymore.
There's one I can't look because I'm broadcasting. There's a game I play. I'm like on 10,860 something level. I don't even know what it's called. Oh, it's Angry Birds. Not Angry Birds like that. It's like an Angry Birds match game though. Like 10,000 level, almost 11,000 levels. I don't even want to talk about how much time I've spent on that game. This is why Dana doesn't get to play video games. Well, and the Galaxy of Heroes phone game. Day one, I was on, and I maybe have missed in total a week and a half in the 15 years that game's been out. Like, yeah, not 15 years. I don't know how long. 10 years now.
It came out when Force Awakens came out.
No,
I thought, yeah,
somewhere in and around there.
What a time to be a fan.
The dark times.
What do you mean, bro? We were hyped pre-Force Awakens.
It's true. It's true.
Even after Force Awakens, it was pretty.
The Last Jedi.
I mean,
had on our hopes and dreams.
It opens up with Finn, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, a stormtrooper with his helmet off!" What? Like, right? Were we not losing our minds, man?
Isn't that trailer like one of the most highest viewed trailers on YouTube or something?
I think so.
Also, one of the biggest ball of lies ever sold to us, too.
Hey, Dana, you'll sleep well at night knowing a Palpatine reigns supreme over the galaxy forever and ever. So
We all know he did. This is just some propaganda. It's false.
no, his granddaughter gets to reign supreme.
Yeah.
But she's a Skywalker.
No, she's not.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the opening line to
Can't
her
change
be
blood.
just sitting there looking at one of her Padawans, and she's like, "No, I'd like for you to do it." Oh, sorry. It just slips out sometimes. Awesome. All right, let's get. Yeah, we're already kind of easing into this. Okay, so the last couple episodes, folks, we talked about Luke, our Luke, not Luke of what we got. And as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and let's just begin with this bad boy. Bad boy, what you gonna do? Da, da, da.
Oh, what we should have had.
What we should have had. Absolutely. And you know, par for the course. Harrison's like doesn't want to be there.
Oh, he looks happy, man. That seems pretty.
He looks very excited to be there.
That seems
Yeah, if
on
he had
brand.
the hat on, he'd have half a grin if he had it. Yeah, we know who else is missing from this, though, right? I need Chewie.
Just like his medal.
Yeah, I miss Chewie, man. Whoa! I almost hit in stream. That was going to be bad. All right, good night, folks. I want to stop sharing. How do you? Where? How? I swear I've done this before, folks. So every Tuesday. Look, listen. Can we get real? Every Tuesday, I got to do this meeting at 2:00, and I know that like someone on that team that that not is in that meeting, but the agents like has found the Sith Dominion podcast TikTok and had friended me, and it was a little embarrassing. Like you guys know me as Dr. Dana Martin, blah blah, you know, whatever. And Dana being the goofball. So I'm a little nervous about what might be seen here, but I'll say every Tuesday I got to do this meeting with this group, and I love this group. This group has been fantastic, but some days, man, and this is like I get it from a perspective of being in a place you don't want to be, which is what we'll talk about here in a little bit. Not that I'm not good at my job, not that I'm really good at it. I just don't. I'm just tired. I just don't want to be doing what I'm doing anymore. But don't go saying that to anybody if you know who I am and you're because I do enjoy. I do like my job and I like the people I work with. So I just don't like what I do. It's not what my passion is, right?
Big part, man.
Yeah, and if what I'm being told is going to come to fruition, it's going to be more of project management and not people, and that's just not where my heart is. I do my job as well as I can, and continue to improve, but I just don't see that that's going to be my future 5 years from now. That being said, when you look at how the pathways that we take and the decisions that we make, Disney made some poor ones, but we made them for Disney, and they were
Some.
good decisions. Good decisions based in a world where Luke is what he was built to be. He was built to be a Jedi Master. He was built to be a leader in a different time for the Jedi. So Obi-Wan and Yoda both knew him being the real last Jedi was going. He was the final hope, and seeing into the future, he was going to have some sort of growth of the Jedi or whatever. Like they had to know this, and I'm sure there's bits of this in some of the novelization, but in the end, Luke had to make those decisions to follow that path, right? And the decision that he makes to follow that path, to create an order, to go against the Emperor in Mara Jade and her trying to kill him as the Emperor's hand. We didn't talk about that little piece. Do we still want her? We want her as the Emperor's hand, right? Like we want that storyline of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least some
Yeah.
type of Sith assassin or something, or maybe she was tight with Jabba's crew or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like something to where she has this type of disdain for Luke and
That antagonistic role.
yeah.
So we bring all of that into, he has the order, he's got some sort of conflict with student, whether it's a relative student or not. We know that Han and Leia have children. We know, and we get to see some of that relationship and the politics of it. There was an article I was just reading today that was talking about the politics, or yesterday when I was that's right, when I was writing my article. There was an article I came across where they were talking about the politics of Star Wars, and it's just, sometimes it's a little pushy, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like the whole the Force and Anakin and him, my new empire, all that stuff is the politics of it is amazing. And didn't you guys play those video games like Galen, where they talk about like starting the rebellion and all of that? Wasn't that the game? Sam Witwicker? What is his name? Sam
Whitworth.
Wow. Yes, that one. So, I'd love to see some of that. The way that they do that in, what is that, Andor? Yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts as we move into episode 3, knowing what all we've covered now? I just recapped it real quick. What do you guys want to see now in episode 3? Do we get actually, can we start with you, Cam? Because something you said helped me in my article. You said we don't have to have a villain that has a redemption arc. I'm paraphrasing, but you said something like that on the last show, and I'd love for you to elaborate on it. I mentioned it in the article, that very thing. So
Yeah, I mean, I really don't. I'd like to see a Star Wars villain that doesn't go through any redemption arc, and and it not be Palpatine. Basically, I think a Thrawn level threat in this trilogy would be good because the bad guy that thinks he's doing the right thing, and I think he's one that can carry on the Empire's legacy and provide sort of a behind the scenes role, but can still be very prominent when he's on screen, done right, And I think him not being a Jedi and having or a Sith or anything really, I think is what gravitates me towards his character as a villain, because I remember reading the books recently, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and every time I thought he'd lost or whatever, he's like, nope, this is exactly as I wanted it to happen, or this is what I knew what would happen. I was like, is this like narcissism or like what is this? Or is he just this? Is he that many steps ahead, or is he that thinking that far ahead? You know,
Mhm.
and like he's not like a outright terrible. He's killed millions of people, but he's still a villain, and I like that. So I don't know if that's kind
Yeah,
of
and why is he doing what he's doing?
yeah.
We don't know his motivation yet. Now we know there was some like he had and Zane, you're the I would say you're the Thrawn expert-ish person here. Do you like what was his motivation for doing what he was doing? I did not in the old books, not the new books. In the old books, I did not get the sense that he was attached to the Chiss in a relational way. He had been, I believe, it's been a while, exercise from them. Like he's no longer a part of the Chiss, and yeah, all of that. So give me your thoughts on that.
Honestly, it is a lot harder with the older books because Zahn didn't dive into that side of Thrawn as much as he did here in canon. However, it was always apparent that Thrawn was not consumed by power, but just I don't know, with someone with his smarts, it just worked that he was up there. He just was, being that smart, and being that calculated, you just are gonna be leading people and leading that kind of thing. And especially with him and how he thought of other beings and people, it was very he knew he was better.
Mm-hmm.
And why not lead? If he knows best.
So when it comes to canon, and when it used to be canon, the legend stuff with the Thrawn trilogy, am I wrong that he was the highest ranking non-human in the Empire Navy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So there was some. There's been some papers written about the Empire on their prejudice and what their intent really was. Was there some genocide and eradication? I think, well, we know there was in some planets. The Naguri and the old Lady Vader, all of that stuff. Oh my God, such a great chunk of story. If you didn't read any of that, go read that one. I don't remember what it was called, but great set of books there too. But yeah, so seeing that there is an individual like him, the Emperor knew his usefulness, right? I don't, Debbie, when it comes to current Thrawn and current, like where do you feel like he is making this deal with Morgan, right? In the current show. Now we're going to take this into the next piece, but in this current piece with Morgan, where do you feel that relationship is rooted in? All that I can gather really is something in the trailer just didn't make a lot of sense to me, and I don't know if you were able to make a little more sense out of it. But what is it that Morgan and him have together that makes them drawn to each other? I guess what is it that they're using off of each other?
Well, in my opinion, I think he's just using her, a ways to a means, or a means to a way. I don't know.
Ways to a means, yeah.
Whatever.
A way to a means. There we go.
Yeah, he's using her to get back. So, and I'm assuming, as it was said in the trailer, the next heir to the Empire.
Yeah.
He wants to lead the Empire. So that's his goal. He wants to, because, really no, well, we assume Palpatine is dead for good this time
Yeah.
around. But yeah, we don't know who's really running the Empire
Mm-mm.
outside of a bunch of moths that are probably fighting each other and trying to gain power. So yeah, he's wanting to get back and take over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
That's my thoughts. I don't know if that's
no, I
really
like
true,
so
but-
you're right. Those I think that's going to play a big part because you have no singularity for leadership. There's a vacancy, a vacuum, and just like in other countries where a coup occurs or whatever, and you've got this power vacuum, it becomes just a bunch of warlords. I mean, today there's places like that in our. I know your cat's going to totally like. She's about to fall. He's about to fall. You got a bunch of warlords, just running around killing people, fighting each other, and the average Joe gets suffered for that. But what do you think, Cam? Do you think that there's a way that obviously we'll get more? But what is Morgan getting out of this? What is she gonna get out of all that?
She's dead.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
See, I don't think she is.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the time maybe she didn't realize that the reason why her people were eradicated was because of the Empire. I think she blames like the Republic and the war itself, and in the sense of what I guess the general public thinks is that the Jedi and everybody like are the reason for the war, right? And just whatever. So I think it's just one of those things where she doesn't really know the true facts behind the situation like we as the audience do. And it's just a classic, like she's getting played and doesn't really know it yet. And Thrawn wants to use Night Sister magic as his tool,
Mhm.
Whereas maybe if Palpatine could have done, maybe he could have thought, maybe could have used their power if he really wanted to, but he just decided it's just easier to kill him. So
Yeah, and I like I like what you just brought up with that. I was thinking that too. She's not gonna know, or it would be difficult to know unless you were there, that it was the Separatists, right? It was Dooku that led the charge to kill everybody on Dathomir, if I'm not mistaken.
it was Grievous.
Or Grievous.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all the same, but she wouldn't know that.
Yeah, she doesn't know that. No, she sees somebody there with blue and green lightsabers, and just any random civilian in the galaxy would probably tie that to Jedi and Republic, even if I wouldn't look at General Grievous and think he's a Jedi, but
I mean, with what you hear about the Jedi fighting in the war.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
They're all war criminals. There's a great 9-minute YouTube clip of
all the Jedi are war criminals.
Yeah, the Jedi committing war crimes for 9 minutes. It's absolutely hilarious.
It's insane.
Love it. It's true. So all of that I wanted to kind of touch on, and as we're moving, it's not in the outline, and just throw the outline out. So what I want to look at then is ultimately, as we've been building, we don't know what this looks like. We think it's kind of this or that, this kind of evil. I want us to kind of personify that. I want us to put something to that. And I would hope that it would be something that's a callback of how do I say this? I don't want to say that it's a revenge, but someone Luke messed with way back, even on Tatooine. I don't know. There's some connection to Luke.
Abeloth.
Do what?
Abeloth.
I didn't hear that.
Abeloth.
Why do I know that name?
The mother?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Oh, what a great villain.
I'm reading I'm still reading the Fate of the Jedi series, and she's the main villain.
Oh
You
my
remember Abeloth.
goodness.
Just look at one
See?
picture of her.
Yeah, that's it. Could you imagine? That would be fantastic. Great call. I'm scrolling through right now going, yes, I remember now. Dude, so okay. You just opened that can. Cameron, what are your thoughts on Grandmaster Jedi Luke Skywalker taking on an entity such as that?
I mean, I'm all for it, man. He's badass in those books.
I mean, he's not gonna marry Sue that, right? I mean, he's gonna have to feel something.
Well, by this point, I mean, if you're still claiming he's a Mary Sue after
Okay,
we
maybe
put him
not after
through,
all those.
you
No, if
know,
there's a Mary Sue, it's Ray. Let's be
yeah.
real.
But
No, you don't think so, Debbie?
Mm.
I mean, I think it'd be interesting. Maybe I don't know about maybe carrying her Abeloth plot into like the next
Trilogy?
next trilogy. That
Not series. We don't do series.
yeah, the next trilogy. Sorry, but I'd be down to see it. I mean, with what I know from that, I think I definitely prefer Luke's ending in Legends compared to the stuff that's out there right now.
I don't know how he ends in Legends. I never read that far.
I haven't gotten that far yet, so
I guess you can't spoil it.
I don't think a lot of folks have. I think a lot of folks that were reading that once all that they never caught. Like I didn't catch up. I was still reading. I can't remember the name of it. It was a cover because they didn't do it in chronological order, right? They would go back and write this book or that book, and so there was one with Luke on the front cover, and he's in his orange flight suit with his blue saber. Can't remember the name of that one, but that was one of the last non-canonical books that I was about to pick up right before that happened. So I didn't finish the Vong War, and I guess that's probably where he dies. I don't know. No,
It's not no.
man. Do you think that episode 9 would be a send off for Luke and an opening for the future? Now I titled it what did I title it? Dawn of the Force. And I think the Abeloth storyline would play really good into this because it would give everyone a fresh perspective on the Force based in that story arc from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So tell me your thoughts on that. I mean, how do you think that would be a well received? Let's do this, and then now we've got a fresh new, children and all of this to carry on the Skywalker story, or maybe they get wiped out. I don't know. What do you want to do with that?
I mean, I feel like our trilogy might have been too short for episode 9 to be Luke's end.
Yeah.
I think depending upon where we have the kids at, what side the kids may be on, or what side we potentially want some of them to be on. I think it'd be nice to see episode 9 kind of have Luke, Leia, and Han at the peak, and the kids really coming into play, and then the next trilogy kind of like episode 9 ends with kind of what we're trying to show the Force becoming with Abeloth and those type of things, and then maybe the big 3 start being aged out in the next trilogy.
Do you feel like
But how to send them off well, I don't really know.
Do you feel like we've told all the Skywalker saga we can? Or do you think there's more creativity that hasn't even been tapped for that sort of thing yet? Because there is a lot of content that we have already seen, right? With Legends. Are we done with Star Wars and with Skywalker?
Well, I mean, all the Skywalkers are dead, so
Yeah.
I would say in theory, yeah, we're done. I think it's going to be really hard to, in the current state they're in, to really kind of tell any story between 6 and 7 in the current timeline, because we all know it's Luke's Jedi orders fails, Han and Leia end up splitting up. I mean, yeah, I might want to see some of it, but I mean, maybe a Kylo story would be cool, but I think they ended up going the wrong direction with his character in general. So I think it would have been nice to see a reverse of Anakin, whereas Anakin was never really fully committed to the dark side. It was just, I mean, maybe not. Like, they were still good. I would have liked to see Kylo just go all in, and there's him be a good full I love the dark side type villain, But
Yeah.
I mean, the Skywalkers are dead, and I don't know if there's any redeeming the characters that we got in the Disney canon, even with new stuff. So
So I know I mean I've seen Rise of Skywalker a few times.
I'm sorry.
You you saying the words all the Skywalkers are dead might be the first time I've heard those words put together. And I never really thought of that before. And we make the jokes, "Oh, I'm a Skywalker." Yeah, whatever. But never really hit me till right now. Yeah. There is no more like the whole Skywalker saga was why Star Wars was written, was it not? For the story of Anakin Skywalker. And I know Luke's your boy, but that's not why it was written. It was written for Anakin. And the redemption piece is so important in that arc. The belief of one that can pull the light out of another. Like just yeah, we've belabored all that. So good story. But we did not see the dark side in Luke, except for very, very tiny moments. And I think that's your point. He never would have turned away from the Force. He never would have left his friends. He never would have done all these things because of where he was as a person. And everything with the Force and his powers only accentuated his authenticity and genuine care for others. I think he could not have had a better mentor than Obi-Wan right off the bat. And that's where I think Anakin got screwed, because Obi-Wan was not ready for that. What do you think about that, Debbie? I mean, it's a big one. Was Obi-Wan ready? He said he was ready, but was he?
No, he wasn't, and I think he was hurt by what Qui-Gon had done, because yeah, at that point Obi-Wan hadn't really, he hadn't really officially done his trials, from what I remember. So yeah, he wasn't ready, and he was just doing it out of obligation to his master. Now, I don't know who else outside of Qui-Gon that could have done it any better, because everybody else was, God forbid Mace do it.
Master Plo. Master Plo.
I don't know. I think Obi-Wan did the best he could, and they did really have a good relationship.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I think if Anakin had confided in him, and I've mentioned this before in earlier shows, if he had confided in Kenobi, maybe Kenobi would have just said, just leave.
Yeah.
Screw being the chosen one.
Yeah, where's your heart? And that's why he didn't stick with Satele, right? He knew where his heart. He knew ultimately his heart was with the Order. That's my opinion of that. I think she knew that wasn't ever going to work either. Why wouldn't they have connected? Is it? Do you think he was just so? I don't know. Do you see a world where we could have some kid somewhere from Obi-Wan, or I just it's just I don't know, man. They neither of them I don't think wanted to not be together. It was really sad. I thought it was sad, but whatever.
Well, see, I was kind of hoping Ray would have been
A Kenobi.
Kenobi's like granddaughter
Yeah.
or something.
That was one of the
Relation.
bigger
That's
theories
where
I
my
thought.
mind was going. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because doesn't Luke / Anakin's original saber, isn't it like calling to her in Force Awakens? Isn't that
Yes.
what he says?
Yes.
In my head, I'm like, okay, who is she? Is she, Obi-Wan's somehow connected to Obi-Wan? Is she connected to Anakin? Is it Luke's daughter? I mean, what is it? But
Where's our one-off movie on how they got that saber?
It's in the comics.
oh,
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Marvels, like the new ones? It'd have to be.
It'd have to be.
Because Maz wasn't until the new ones, that's right.
Yeah. I remember reading up about it somewhere.
Well, and then, okay, listen, I know we're talking about episode 9, but okay, Finn got screwed. I've seen your eyes. Like, okay, what does that mean? Like, yes, is that? And we're all like, is it Lando? You know, like, what is he talking about? Like, we were all excited, weren't we? Come on,
Well-
Cam, we were excited too. Like, yes, we got it. Right?
You remember
Yeah.
the storm whatever girl helped Finn
Yes.
in Rise of Skywalker?
Yes.
They alluded to being Lando's child, but in the
Which
book,
is
I'm
in the
pretty sure they
comic.
confirmed it.
Who
Yeah,
confirmed it?
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was confirmed in the expanded book.
like Shadow of the Sith, Lando like lost his daughter, and it's kind of alluded the fact that girl that Finn's with in Episode 9 is her, basically.
Good.
Don't
Why
read
can't
that
we
book.
have a movie on
Don't-
that?
Don't waste
Don't
your time
read
with that book.
No, it's not that great.
Don't read the book. Just spark note it. Listen to a clip. I don't know. Don't
Nice.
read it. It has some
So-
good Luke scenes though, but don't read it.
So what we got for Luke, we know we don't like. What we got for this whole Rey thing, we're not really too keen on, or Kylo, and so we're trying to scrap it all and start over. So here's my question, kind of the last question for this part of the show. Each of you think about what would be the most fitting ending you'd like to see to the Skywalker saga, where you could put a bow on it and say, I don't want to see anything else. I'm good. What story arc do you need to see to where you could rest at night and not want any more of the Skywalker saga? Okay, I know we'll always want more Star Wars content, but where you can wrap up Skywalker, what would that look like? I mean, I'll go first because I thought of the question. I've always thought of this, and it's Luke essentially takes one for the team like he does, but not like he does, right? I don't like, Jedi getting tired. I get he's projecting. I get it. Okay, I'm not stupid, but it's just, come on, man.
No explanation.
I
Yeah.
would be happy seeing him go out like Randy Quaid style in ID4, like taking his TIE fighter or his X-wing up into the cannon and blowing up everything. Something like that, because that's who Luke was. Luke was like, okay, I'm just gonna go. Not, oh, now this is pod racing, and it's and he doesn't even know what he's doing, and he's blowing stuff up. No, Luke knew what he was doing. He could fly the crap. Like, I want to see something like where he sacrifices himself, because that is Luke in a grandiose way, because that is Luke also. So that would make me happy. He could pass on, and his force presence now can lead others. And dude, I would love to see an ending of him and his father force ghosting right next to each other. Holy crap. You want to see me fall apart? For Pete's sake. Now that we know he's in the world in between worlds. Okay, I'm done.
I'm not gonna give you that, Dana.
You're not going to give me that?
Anakin doesn't care about his kids
Clearly.
or grandchildren.
He only cares about that.
He cares
older
about
woman.
he cares about Ahsoka because she
Yeah,
is
he
what
does.
matters. I'm still
All right.
thinking of my answer.
What?
I'm thinking.
Oh,
Somebody
you're
else
still
gotta
thinking?
go. I'm thinking.
I have one. It wouldn't necessarily be in this trilogy. It would be in a further one.
Yep.
But I want to see an end of the Skywalkers go out in. There is some sort of beast entity, kind of like Abeloth, and there's only one way to destroy her, and not like an explosion, but kind of think like an explosion, right? And you see Luke, his son,
Bless you.
and like a Force
Bless-
Ghost Anakin all holding down whatever this entity is, so that
Dude.
whenever it explodes or whatever happens, it wipes off the rest of the Skywalkers, but the galaxy is free.
And the whole point, like yes, and
Like, that was the
Luke's authenticity, genuine like love and care rubs off on all those students, rubs off on all of his family members. To Cam's point, this is our Luke. That would have been influential to his family members that were in the order. Holy cow. That's a good idea, man. Deb, Cam.
I'm still thinking. I don't know.
Well, I'm not sure how he would go out in a blaze of glory. My and if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail that I made, this movie would center around the kids.
Hmm.
Finn, Anakin, Jason, and Jania.
Janet. Yeah.
So, and the others would just kind of like, Han and Leia would retire because they're getting too old for this shit. And Luke would just become a grandmaster at the academy or something. And, if he's really, really needed or whatever, he could give advice or whatever. But I would want this third one to start to center around the kids and have them take over the main storylines. Because you got, well, of course, I mean, in Legends, Anakin has died, and I think somewhere in this series that I'm reading right now, Ben dies, but
Yeah.
not in my in my head canon. They would all survive, and Jason would not turn, and yeah, they would just take over because in the books, Jason and what's her name? Tenkal has a daughter, Alana, and Jaina and Jagged Fell, they're hooking up. Ben and Talari, they were hooking up. Or no, that was Anakin. My bad. So yeah,
I think they'd have some sort of separation in them dorm rooms with all them kids.
But for me, that's the way it would just continue on. But it would just continue on with the kids, and the others would just fade away, die of old age, happy.
Cool.
That's just me.
But clearly setting up future trilogy, movie, etc. Yeah. So, Cam?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of with Debbie. I want my heroes to have a happy ending, and I kind of like everybody's take here. Kind of have mixtures of both. Like I'd like to see Luke go out like he kind of becomes one with the Force in a sense, and he's he is the second chosen one and is able to leave his Jedi Order, kind of taking a little bit of Debbie's piece, and leave it to the kids and maybe grandkids, and leave it in a good place. And Han and Leia are able to retire together, happy. Chewie, happy. I don't know. Like, it's an impossible task because I always want to see more of the Skywalkers, but I kind of like the line in The Last Jedi when Luke and Yoda are talking. Probably the only line that I like, when Yoda says to Luke, students, we are what they grow beyond. And I think that students trained by probably arguably the best and most relatable Jedi ever would be students that grew up in that academy, especially family that are in that academy, would be leave the galaxy and want the galaxy to be better. So
Would you say that it was a mistake to kidnap children, brainwash them, and turn them into stormtroopers in the First Order and all of that? Would you say that was wrong? Would
yeah,
you equally say that it is wrong to kidnap children, take them away from their families, and begin to brainwash them into the Jedi Order? Hear me out.
That is not what they did.
Hear me out. One of the greatest Jedi we've ever known was an adult when he began his training, Luke Skywalker.
yeah,
I believe that the ability to cognitively choose is what separates Luke from someone like Obi-Wan, who had grown up as a Jedi. And I think that was key in him being able to turn from the dark side. I think it was key in those moments where he walked that tightrope where he could finally say no. But I think it was because he did not grow up within it. He came from the outside and knew what crap was behind him. These other kids know no other than what they're told lies beyond. They don't know what lies beyond because they've never experienced it. Luke experienced the Empire. He experienced all of these things that were terrible, and that's what formed him on Tatooine. There isn't anything on Tatooine. All you have are your friends and those people, Dak, and those guys that are close to you. I firmly believe that had he been a child ripped from his parents in a different era, not the same dude, right? Had to be an adult, had to be able to make his own decision to choose to even start down that path. Whereas children don't even get that opportunity. They're just told you're going to be a Jedi. Okay, done.
well, and I've said it before. Like, the reason for his actions is because he has attachments and love for his friends. The exact opposite of what the prequel Jedi would want you to have and want you to base your actions off of.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I didn't like in the new canon, even though they never really touched on it. But in the book, like, I just, like, he would not do the same thing the prequel Jedi would do. He would not, like, in Legends. I prefer what he does with his academy and the questions he asks himself in Heir to the Empire when he's like, "How am I going to be able to train these twins? I can feel their power in the Force, but I don't know if I'm ready to do it."
Mm-hmm.
And he has the training sessions with Mara, and he's just so patient, and he's so understanding, and, like, it's okay to make mistakes. It's, and he's so relatable. And the stuff we got, he's not. He's he's the same old Jedi that Obi-Wan and Yoda were, in the same dogmatic perspective. Oh, this is the way it's been done 1,000 years. Well, that order failed. Return of the Jedi Luke would have figured out why that order failed, understood why it failed, and would have said, "I'm going to make my order my own. We are going to encourage everyone to be Jedi. Children, adults, if they want to be Jedi, they can be Jedi." And because the entire reason that makes him different than Obi-Wan and Yoda is because, unlike them, he gave his father a chance, and he understood that it's never too late to turn back, you know? And Luke and any trilogy that I would do would pretty much do the exact same he did in Legends in terms of building his order, because it makes the most sense, because that's what he did. He's not a practical Jedi. You don't need to be a child and raised up in this commune and told the way to think, told what to do, not encouraged to ask questions. You know, that's the exact opposite of what Luke would do.
In Legends, when he created the temple there on Yavin 4, I love there's a callback to what is it called? Shoot, A New Hope. And there's a moment, and I don't want to get look. I've been drinking wine tonight. Is Cali Red by Snoop Dogg, 19 Crimes. There's that moment in that book where they're taught where he sees the inscriptions on like carved into the wall from the night before of Porkins, Wedge, like all these guys that were in the bunk beds in the barracks, right? They carved their name right before they took off that next day to fight the Empire, and we know that most of them didn't make it. That those were his people. He get out of there, Wedge. You can't do it. Like you're spot on. To my point, he's an adult. He's an adult learning these things. So when it comes to Mara Jade, when it comes to his nephews and nieces, his patience for that is up here. Why? Because he knows how much of a turd student he was, questioning everything, not just with Obi-Wan, but with Yoda, to the point that Yoda was like, F you, I'm just going to die. You're asking too many questions and I'm tired. I love that meme. Proof that children ask so many questions, you just want to die. Oh, man. Sorry. You got a little crazy there, too. Man, you guys are spot on, I think, all the way around. I think that what we could come up with would have been a hell of a lot better than what we got. I'm not complaining as far as that we got content. What I'm complaining is what the content was. But whatever. We can't change that, but it's nice to dream. Last question for this, and we'll move on. So when it comes to you all have mentioned potentially a different series or a different trilogy even after that, focusing on the children or whatnot. That aside, what part of the Skywalker legacy do you want to see in a series? I know you're not a fan of those series, Cam, in most cases, but a limited, 8-episode series to flesh out one piece of what we've been talking about the last 3 shows that you're just not going to have time to flesh out in a movie or 3 movies. Like you need something else to connect the dots. I know I'd love to see some space fighting TIE fighter or whatever, these new starships. Like I said in the last episode, that episode 3 opening scene is just eye candy, and it's gorgeous. I want to see something like that, or a saber fight, something that would lead to this story. That's what we need to. That's what we're talking about. What is going to lead to what we're talking about that you need some extra? Andor is a perfect. We talk about the politics and all this in between. What is something you could do in those last 3 movies that we just talked about, the last 3 shows? Just a series.
Probably just Mara Jade's perspective of where she's at and how she gets to 7 and what happened from her perspective. That would be probably what I'd want to see.
I'd be down. Chewie's down, like he's like, yeah.
Chewie likes that idea.
Yeah. Like smacking your head too. Like, did you feed it? I don't know. Why is it mad at you? What'd you do?
I fed her right before the show.
It's a cat. You don't have to do anything. It's always mad.
She did this last night during the MCU show, and that's the first time she's ever been on the back of the chair. Usually she lays on my lap or she lays on the desk, but last night she got frisky and decided to lay on the back of my office chair.
Heck yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, what would you guys want to see in a series fleshed out? I like that Mara Jade.
Mhm.
I think that would be fantastic from her perspective, right? I think the movies would give us the overall, mostly from Luke's perspective, or the way we get it from the big 4 or 5 or whatever the grouping is. But to have something like that, that would be really awesome. I agree. Mara
It's like
Jade.
episode 5, 6, 6.5. That's a lot of time span from where our 7 starts and where she's at. I mean, that'd be a good way to flesh more out.
Oh, like a Rogue One where you're connecting the dots here, like a Mara Jade standalone series to connect into this is now where we're at 20 years later or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you could start her off with the legend story of her going after Luke for revenge of killing Palpatine or the Emperor. Just start right there and then continue on until they meet and Luke starts his being all charming and winning her over.
I'm a little upset that they don't give Luke those props. Like he's the only one that walked off the Death Star. So like whether you know what happened in that throne room or not, Luke Skywalker left the Death Star and the others did not. So it would seem to me that there would be this this guy is the guy that survived the Death Star and the other two didn't. Like how is this not even touched on other than the stories are all real or whatever? It's true, all of it. That you make it like it's just this tiny little bit, but it seems that it should be what precedes him is huge. He killed the freaking Emperor, or Vader did, but according to them, they probably think he did. I don't know. Is there anything with that we need to bring up? Like, how is no one talking about him 20 years later?
I mean, would he even want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's something he would brag about anyways. He wouldn't say anything about it.
That's true.
I mean, I think it would definitely be word would get around, like
Unless some of the Death Star, a few of the Death Star workers got off, because you see a bunch of them running around that hangar as he's carrying or pulling Vader into the ship. So, that would be the only way anybody would know, that he made it off.
Mm-hmm.
And he dragged Vader's body with him.
I think my question's rooted more in when he blew up the Death Star. Everyone knew who he was, like that kid, and even the Empire knew who he was at that point. But so I guess from that perspective, is there? Go ahead, Cam. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, Return of the Jedi Luke, in terms of that type of fame, I don't know if he would care about that as much as maybe A New Hope Luke would. You know what I mean?
So he's in Yoda's hut in Empire, and he's like all antsy, anxious. Yoda says to him, "Adventure, whatever a Jedi craves, not these things." Right? And when his second visit, or his last visit to Yoda, he's not that adventure-seeking whatever. He's talking about his father. He's really being inquisitive. So yeah, I would agree that the person that Luke became, much more down to earth, much more controlled, not seeking the adventure, but certainly seeking truth and wanting to save his friends and save the galaxy, if you will.
Yeah.
I
I mean, one of the things I don't like is that we don't, in Mando season 2, when I really would have liked to have seen Moff Gideon's perspective of seeing Luke come in, because I would think maybe word would come around within the Empire that, this rebel named Skywalker or something.
I think all we get is what's his name, Esposito or whatever. He's just like like he can't believe he's seeing him, and I think it's kind of implied he knows who he is, but
no, because she says a Jedi, because he's knocked out by the time Luke.
Oh, that's right. I thought he was watching it on the monitor.
Yeah, but you can't see that it's Luke. It's just
Oh,
a
You see the
Jedi.
head.
Yeah, they just say it's a Jedi, and they're like, "Oh shit, we haven't seen a Jedi in however long, 30, 20, 30 years." I'd like to see that maybe from the Empire's perspective, but I don't know if that's enough to make a series out of. That may be more of like a throwaway type line or couple minute scene, and when Thrawn's talking with whoever he decides to have in his Empire ranks or what he's building, but I don't think in terms of Jedi Master Luke, I don't really think he cares about fame and glory of being the one that walks out of the throne room. I think that I'd argue that memory holds great sadness for him,
Mhm.
because even though Vader says essentially you did save me, and Luke sighs, did he?
He still died.
He saved him.
Yeah.
Well,
His
Hopefully,
villain.
And
Oh.
if so, go ahead.
hopefully some Force Ghost, tells him that,
From a certain point of view, Anakin did fulfill the prophecy, kinda.
in our canon, he definitely does for sure.
Mhm.
Palpatine is definitely dead.
well,
Big
Well,
dead.
except
He
for the whole, I don't know that brings balance to the Force. I think they misinterpreted balance to the Force is not good. It's balance.
I agree, but Palpatine's dead for sure.
This is he's dead.
He's dead.
but yeah,
There's-
he's dead.
There's no.
I
essence
don't mind him
floating out
coming back as a Force or as a ghost that has been done to try to influence. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't want to see that, but I'd be fine if it happened. Does that
How
make
does it
sense?
even work for Sith? Is that like
Yeah, it does.
Force Ghost?
Oh
Or-
yeah,
Oh, totally. Exar Kun, we talked about on the show. Like, that was
Exar
his thing.
Kun,
He freaking
Revan's
influenced
been a
Luke
ghost.
and his people,
Yeah.
and his students. That was huge.
Bane's
And
been
then
a ghost.
what?
Said Exar Kun. We've had Bane
He's
as
the
a ghost.
most
We've had
popular.
Revan as a
Bane,
ghost.
Oh yeah, Bane was
Um,
a ghost in Clone Wars, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've had them.
That's like a
It's
different
more
type
like-
of ghost, right?
It's more like a spirit
It's more like a
Yeah.
ghost instead of a yeah.
Okay.
Like a
Instead of a force
haunting.
projection.
They're imbued into this tomb. They are not allowed
Okay.
to leave the tomb, or yeah.
I think
Okay.
they call them force spirits in the game.
Yeah, because I was thinking more of like Jedi Force Ghost. I'm like, I don't know if that works the same way for the Sith, but
So I'd love to see what happens when they meet, right? Like, what happens if a Force ghost goes into like Exar Kun's tomb and they see each? Like, do they get to do some sort of crazy wizardry, like ghost wizardry, fight each other? I don't know. I think a Big Trouble
Ryan
Little
Johnson made a
Little
movie,
China.
they'd hug probably.
If
The
who?
little China.
Ryan Johnson.
If Ryan Johnson made one, they'd probably hug.
Oh no,
forgive
no.
Yeah.
each other.
Aw, look
Oh,
at them.
Let the past die. We're friends now.
kill it if you have to.
I hate you, Ryan Johnson.
Oh my goodness,
I hope you have bad dreams tonight.
he won't.
I will.
Hope you step on a Lego brick.
Yeah.
Oh.
I hope your R2D2 Lego set is missing a piece. And the
That-
Malik figure.
Not the
oh,
Malik figure.
You don't deserve it.
Oh, it's green screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Malik figure. You can't even see his face because it's all weird. But yeah, we
Pretty
got it.
cool cat.
Tom Hardy was
It
the
is
best
freaking
Darth
awesome.
Malik. Oh,
Putting Darth
Okay.
Malik together was
He was already a good Bane. It only makes sense.
yeah.
awesome. Thanks for this. This was super fun. I like imagining what would be better. It's not that hard comparing it to what we got. I do want to reiterate that I am totally smitten by Daisy Ridley, and she can do no wrong that is her own. That being said, it's not her own when she's being told how to act and what to say. There we go. I also want to make sure that it's stated that we in this group are very generationally diverse. We are diverse in where we're from, and we're diverse in our gender as well. That is important for our discussions. Why? Because we're not the Empire.
Dana would like to be though.
You have no idea. No,
Dana is.
I am wearing a
Dana-
Darth Maul jersey from
He
FYE.
is the
Go
Empire.
check it out.
Yeah.
FYE, my new Darth Maul jersey. It's sick.
Dana is pro Empire propaganda.
I do
sure.
have a car that has Empire. No, I'm more about just making sure there's peace across the galaxy.
Your
Look,
What's your
peace.
version of peace though?
Your
my
version
version
of peace.
My version of
I brought
peace.
freedom.
Freedom.
They said
Yes, the
justice to
mind
you
of
and-
Empire.
Yeah. What Thanos say? They said I was a madman.
Yeah.
He was right.
See, and to your point, Cam, I don't want that villain. I don't want the villain. I want the villain that I understand is done. Like, not,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it so that no bellies are not going to bed hungry or whatever the frack Thanos said, right? No. Like, I want someone to be like, that's it. I'm done. And I have all this power. You're dead. Like, just going nuts. And like Luke being like, whoa, because Emperor Vader, like they had a mission and the Sith architect of it all. Thank you, Palpatine. Wonderfully done. They didn't want to just go kill everybody. We need a villain that's like that size, that scope, and we're talking size and scope from my perspective of a Darth Revan. Darth Revan and kicking on the what was the machine? The that was in Rebels
Foundry?
too. The Foundry, yes. Oh my gosh! Like, what was the point? He's like dark side concentration. You build ship, man. We need that. We need that kind of a villain that is so hell bent on whatever it takes, because I believe that's what's going to be the challenge for the Skywalker family. We know how to work this from a political and the rebels, and we can fight back and we can hold our ground and this and that, but we don't know how to deal with something of this size, scale, and magnitude of not just evil, but dark side force, crazy evil.
I think Dave's doing Abeloth or whatever his version's gonna be. I mean, I think
Mhm.
I think he's doing it.
You think he's
God.
prepping us for that with the whole
They've been alluding it so
Balin
much.
and looking and the father son? Yeah,
I think so. I mean, it's a Mortis something.
yeah, yeah.
I think it's her,
Yeah,
Has to
Debbie
be.
throwing that out, man. Freaking
And-
awesome.
and I think it's gonna. He might try and piece together, why maybe she just leaves such a. Maybe Abeloth is a reason why the characters are where they're at, sequel trilogy wise. Maybe she just wreaks so much havoc on the galaxy or something like that. I think that's where he's going.
Listen,
Oh, he's going on a rant.
Get up and close. Get up and close.
Clip it, chat. Clip it.
here's
Flip it.
here's the thing.
Oh, he's locked in.
The Force is yours to command if you want. My question is, why is it that commanding the Force in the world of Star Wars means your dark side? What's up, a guy who what? A guy who
Okay.
loves Star Wars? I didn't. It look. What I can see is a guy who and yeah. What's up, man? Good to see you. Because at the end of the day, guys, look, the Force is the Force. You're talking dark side, light side. Oh, the dark side more powerful? No, not more powerful. Shut up. Like, it's just the Force. It's just there. Okay, it's just the Force. Now, what you choose to do with the Force, that's what matters, and that's not what is talked about in the movies as a whole. Okay, they go into good detail in some of the books. Okay, on explaining how the Force really does work. It's not. Thank you again. I don't want to play the clip again, but freaking what's his name? Kanan and all of that. Your boy. What's Debbie? Come on, help me. Play Kanan Jarrus and Shaggy. Not Shaggy, but yeah, no. What's the guy's
Freddie
name?
Prince.
Thank you, Freddie Prinze
yeah.
Jr.
Freddie Prinze.
Going off about, and he explains it very good. It's not about the good side and the bad side. It's a whole balance in the Force. Literally means yin and yang, right? It's everything's balanced. You have two. You have Palpatine and Vader. What do you have to counter that? The twins, right? Now we have balance. But the moment that one of them dies, it's over. It's out of balance. We got to start all over again. That's the part that I don't believe that the fan base really gets at. I think us deep fans understand that, right? That's why I have a Sith Dominion freaking podcast, because it doesn't mean you're evil. It doesn't mean bad. It just means you're commanding the Force instead of allowing the Force to try to kind of move against you and push you in the right direction. Go ahead, Zane.
Could you not say that commanding is inherently a forceful and hostile nature? Maybe not extremely hostile, but to the point of putting force onto something instead of letting it move.
Is that not what Jedi do when they force push a stone?
They allow the force to move through them to lift the stone or push the stone.
As opposed to commanding the Force lift that stone. That's what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. It would be like yelling, like you're a manager and you're yelling at your someone under you to go do something, comparatively to asking them to do it.
Look, Anakin said if they don't want to do it, they should be made to. Do you know how quickly we could get things done in the Senate if the people would... Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That's a dictatorship. That's not...
Does Luke not command the Force when he chokes Jabba's bodyguard and the droid and the Mandalorian?
Okay, but does he force choke? Or does he make them think that they're being choking? No. So a rumor, okay, fan theory, that he didn't actually force choke the Gamorrean. He used Jedi mind trick to think he was choking.
That is so less cool.
He's still choking.
I said no. That's
he
goes like
choking.
Yeah, no. Sorry, fan theory. That's so
At the end of the day, he was still choking regardless of that theory.
So he'd be commanding the Force, no?
That's commanding.
So being able to kind of separate what Force powers are commanding versus what, like that's not where I'm going. I'm going with just intent, right? What's my intent? My intent is to get from point A to point B. Well, I can use the Force in a way to get me there faster if I tell it what to do, or I can just wait for it to happen. And for me, and yes, I get it, right? I get what you're saying, okay? But when I translate using the Force into my own personal motivation for doing anything in my life, which means even standing up from this table after we're done because I've drank the whole bottle of wine, it's going to take a large amount of Force control to get me up out of this chair. I'm going to do that. If I see something in my vision to where I need to get to go, I can't just wait around because tomorrow is going to be tomorrow again and again and again. So when I think about commanding the Force and from a Sith perspective, pieces of why there's only passion, like use that, right? In a positive way. You could do that in a positive way, but you could command the things around you to manifest in a way that's going to be edifying to you so that you can then be edifying to others. Where Luke is a prime example of using the Force in that way. I don't think he's a sit back and let crap happen kind of guy. I think he's a guy that understands that's how it works to be a Jedi, but also and this happens in Legends, but I believe canon somewhat. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of the Luke stuff in canon now, but he learns more about both sides than did other Jedi before him. And a lot of that was due to he just didn't have access to the archives. He didn't have these things. So whatever he could get his hands on, he would. Sorry, man, I'm going off on crazy, but so if we're able to understand from even Skywalker perspective of commanding the Force, it runs in his family. His daddy commanded the Force. He commands the Force. And his sister, whatever, she's a politician. Who cares?
She flies in space.
So why is it, or why can't we collectively say, let's just look at the Force a little bit differently in these next movies and try to get a better, more holistic understanding than just this dogmatic. Oh god, now I sound like the Emperor. The dogmatic view of the Jedi. Like, why can't we get a broader view of it, right? I think the Bendu was a huge thing to introduce, to show that the Force is bigger than what our little tiny minds think it is. It's just good and bad. It's not that. It's so much bigger than that. Whew.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
This is what happens when I'm left alone.
Clip it.
Flip it, chat.
Oh, that's a clip right
Good
there.
job.
Thank you. Even with Debbie going, oh god, here he goes again. Oh man, we're not gonna go 3 hours tonight. We got about 3 more minutes. I want to close this up though. Any parting shots or anything else you guys wanted to see, kind of moving forward into the Star Wars universe outside of what we've talked about tonight? Any other last little things you want to see, maybe? I know I don't want to see another freaking super weapon. I'm just saying.
Big giant.
The Foundry would be cool, but outside of that.
Or
Yeah.
Star Destroyers that don't know how to go up.
That's valid. Take a second.
That was
Take a
almost
second.
bad. That almost came out of my nose.
That's funny.
Does anyone know why that was that way?
There is something with they can't activate their shields, or there's
Shields.
some
Yeah.
beacon that's preventing them from. But I'm like, you
Like a
don't know how to
radio
go.
tower or something.
Yeah, you don't know how to go up. Like, and they're all mini Star Destroyers.
Their joystick
Yes.
was stuck.
They're
got
Death
gunked up.
Stars, and Palpatine is shooting. He's
Lightning.
Zeus.
Yeah.
He's literally Zeus.
Thor.
That was funny.
I was,
Thor. I was waiting
Reagan.
for Mjolnir to come in.
I was so checked out. I was just ready to get the hell out of there. So, opening crawl, I was like, I'm so sad.
Dang.
In the expanded universe or Legends now, Debbie, who is Mara Jade your favorite character that was introduced in that isn't canon? Like, if you could have one of those now be canon, would she be probably your one?
She would have been my second
Jason, your
because
first?
they already brought back Thrawn. So Thrawn was my absolute favorite.
Yes.
Mhm.
I was so excited when they announced that. So Mara would be the second one to
Nice.
bring.
Yeah.
Nice.
I will say
go ahead.
it would be really nice to see a Thrawn kind of spin-off series about kind of what the books touch on in canon, whether it's his exclusion from the Chiss ascendancy to his rise through the Empire to where it could be.
Live action or animated?
Live action.
I want to see a live action because I think they could do so much justice with it.
Really?
I don't like the actor choice for live action. I love his voice. I know that's him, but I just what you've
Give me a
done
Benedict Cumberbatch.
for the last 20
Jason
years.
Isaacs would have been better.
Oh,
Jason
I like the Benedict Cumberbatch. That was a pretty good one too, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because of how they animated him, right? Like, and then what we saw in the books, non-canon books back then. What about you, Zane? Or you've already got Thrawn, right?
I've already got thrown. I mean, if you go through Legends, to technically speaking,
He's gonna
I
say
mean, Revan
I knew
isn't like he is, but he isn't canon. He was the only mention of him was in like a Star Wars encyclopedia book, and it was because one of the Sith Trooper legions was like Revan, because they were named after like different Sith. But he really wasn't in the series, and I think he would be the best Legends character probably to add. Easily.
Oh, speaking of which,
Oh.
did y'all see that Keanu Reeves is voicing Shadow the Hedgehog in the third Sonic film?
Actually,
Yeah, I'm so excited.
that series is pretty good.
All those movies are so good, dude.
It's pretty good.
I haven't
So
seen
good.
the one. I really.
They're goofy.
Oh yeah, they're so goofy, but I love it.
I like
It's
them.
awesome.
They're good.
After they fixed his
Oh,
teeth.
we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog, like the
The one
dream
with Jim Carrey.
Sega. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dr. Robotnik or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a shot. I trust you, kind of.
I'm gonna say though, probably the one thing I want to see. I want to see I don't know. I want to see Luke's journey finding Jedi texts and stuff animated. That's all I want to see. I know it means nothing in the grand scheme of things, but I want to see it.
I want the Rogue Squadron series by Michael Stackpole and Aaron Alston. I want that turned into an animated series. Not that BS Resistance animation. That was stupid. I want to see some good snap, roll, barrel twist, shoot it. Like, I want to see that kind of dog fighting. Wedge Antilles, freaking I can't remember the other guy's name. Anyways, there's a whole bunch. There's even one dude that was a Jedi, and he was in part of Luke's first crew in the expanded universe. It was so good. Like, all those stories of those guys.
You want to see like live action Andor style?
You know what? Yeah, I guess I would rather see that live action than animated. I'd like to see it animated in what I was showing you, that kind of 80s anime, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
like, that was cool. But I don't know if I could watch an entire series about that. But the stories were so good. You had Luke as, you know, doing whatever in between, you know, and he'd pop in and whatever, but he wasn't the focus. The focus was the Rogue Squadron, and just so good, man. And you get to see Wedge in canon again in Rise of Skywalker, because he comes in as a pilot too. So that's what I'd like to see, something with the Rogue Squadron. I think we are always interested, we collectively U.S. market, in kind of shoot 'em up planes and stuff. So yeah, let's do it.
Keanu Reeves, Darth Revan. Do it, Luke.
I don't know that
What if? Okay, Star Wars: The Old Republic. If you've seen their cinematics, you know how good they are.
100%.
They are realistic, but not to the point of Uncanny Valley. We don't need a live action Revan, but kind of like what they did with Cyberpunk and Keanu, do a more animated style. That way you can still have a lot more of the freedoms of animation, but it still has those live action actors.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understand?
Yeah, I got you.
I think that would be cool.
That's cool.
But Keanu Reeves.
Still Keanu Reeves in anything, man. I'm there. Even the
Man.
horrendous Matrix movies. Please
Really?
stop.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, those. I love that first one. Love the second one was in. Third one
Second
was.
one was alright. That fourth one.
Last
Oh
one
man,
was.
that one. You might need a couple drinks to sit through.
Wait,
Not
which
as much
one?
as the Last
Matrix?
Jedi, though.
Speaking of series and movies, I am going to sit my son down and we're watching at least the first 4 Rockies. He's never seen them, so I know I'm a terrible dad.
That
Have
should
you
be
not
like
seen them, Cam?
mandatory. No, I've seen it.
Yeah, 100%. Like
I was
dude.
thinking Rocky 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 4. That's it. We go to 4 and we're done.
Yeah, it's like the Indiana Jones movies. The
Third.
3 Indiana Jones movies are really good.
Agreed.
I don't know about any other ones that have come
The
out.
Last Crusade. Crazy.
Well, folks, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We still got 2 people checking us out live right now. We will see you all on wherever you get your podcasts. Every Wednesday, our AV dude, William, uploads everything to Spotify's, iPhone, iPod, whatever. I don't know. Wherever you get your podcast, go check us out. iPod. Is that a thing? Do they make iPods?
No, they are not making those anymore, Dana. Those have been out of commission. Like
remember the iPod Nano? And like half of the US right now is like, oh, what? Yeah.
Like a Zune.
I had that.
Zune. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've got tons of shows, guys, on our platform. If you look over on at Geek News Now at Geek News Now Official on YouTube, you'll see a whole slate. Check us out at Geek News Now on all the places. You'll see all of our playlists with all of our shows. We've got like 5, 6, 8 shows, whatever. And it varies month to month, but we always have content every week, new content. Always come check us out. Also, our website, geeknewsnow.net. There's tons of groups, Facebook groups to go check out your Star Wars, get your Star Wars fix. I'm addicted to Star Wars. Star Wars Geeks of the World Unite. The list goes on. There's all kinds of groups to be a part of. And yeah, go check us out. Tomorrow night, no shows. Wait, no shows. But Thursday, we have MCU. No, we have Thursday.
I don't know what day it is. I'm
I know,
tired.
MCU Mondays. That was, oh my God, that was yesterday. Thursday is Cantina Happy Hour. And you guys are going over what?
Bad Batch, Dana.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad
Bad
Batch.
Batch. I thought y'all were done with Bad Batch.
whole
No,
new
we got
season.
like 3 episodes left.
Oh, I need to catch up to Bad Batch still too.
Missing out on
Clearly,
some of the
all I
best
do
content
is
they've
this
put
show.
out.
I don't do anything else. Seriously, check out the other shows we got. There's all kinds of stuff happening. There's a little bit of a crossover happening, I think, on
Geek
one of the shows
Gauntlet
I
on
was
Saturday.
seeing. Was that Geek Gauntlet on Saturdays? What was the one, Deb, that they were just talking about? In AV. Anyways, I think Mark is gonna someone was gonna jump on Mark's show, I think. Anyways. We're gonna be doing some crossover stuff too. I've been in talks with the Sabers and Captain's Logs and Sabers. Whatever. We'll do some things. I know. I don't even know what I do at this time at night, except for try to stall for Debbie just to. I'm so mean.
You're just waiting for my bladder to explode. That's what you're waiting for.
100%. I wasn't gonna say that out loud, but you knew. All right. No, seriously, guys, thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. And remember, next week, we will be talking about a whole new set of stuff. But go to TikTok, find the Sith Dominion, and vote on which chunk you're going to see starting next week. And also, if you know who DJ Elliott is, go ahead and Google that dude. He's going to be on our show here in the next couple weeks, too. Yes, I just made the announcement.
Hashtag leak.
Show. Man, dude, this dude is, what'd you say?
Leak. You said
Leak. Oh, I know,
not
right?
to say anything
Open
pre-show,
them
and
up.
you just leaked it, man.
I know, I did. I couldn't help it. I couldn't, guys. It's exciting. No, this dude's amazing. Yeah, can't wait to talk to him. It's gonna be fun. Anything else? We good, Debbie? No,
We're
nothing
good.
for the site or for our squads. I think I've touched everything at least.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe to our
that
YouTube
bell.
channel. Helps us out immensely with algorithm and all the fun stuff. So, all right, kids, remember that peace is a lie and that there is only passion. Oh, and be the example. If you don't know what that is, stay tuned. Bye, guys.